crispy guy.
So man, peace and blessings to the trial. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Remember they said it, now we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope and you are now watching Telescope channel. So getting straight into this premium black news as I normally bring to you. Well, we got your boy Sauce Walka in it. There's a lot being said, bro. This video kind of touched back on the last video. If you watched it, make sure you go watch it. If you didn't, you're missing out. But just to get straight into the news, none of the small talk. So I'm gonna put the clips in at the back end or whatever, or maybe I just may insert them in the front. Right now I'm just recording the audio, but Ceddy Nash has been having a little flack, a little pushback off of his narrative, well, which originally is primarily my narrative and what I thought. Maybe he just titled his videos that way, but it kind of seemed like he was speaking on it. But now Ceddy Nash is saying, you know, Sauce Walka backdoored TSF for the insurance policy. It is true that it's a known fact that record labels can put an insurance policy on these artists without them knowing, because in a sense they are a financial asset, so they damn near like property. And I remember when the rap game was like, everything was like, you know, lyrical. It was like a mystique behind artists. You couldn't really get up on them and touch them and see them. It was really hard to get up on them and see them and shit. And it's like, nowadays, you got artists that you can just pull up on, like they hanging out on the block, like they not really doing too much. They shooting dice in the hood just to say that they from the hood, you know. And this is causing a lot of casualties because a lot of these people are going back to the hood, not to give back, not to make the community better, not even to inspire their people so that they can aspire to be them. They going back to flex $100,000 cars, or to flex $200,000 chains or $80,000 chains, to flex $500K in the bag and the Louis bag on niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it really causes and creates some type of resentment for these artists. And that's why you see a lot of people, like, it was a running thing or running joke, rather, when people was like, oh man, he just some rapping ass nigga. Oh man, that nigga a rapper. Like, oh man, leave that nigga alone. He just a rapper. Because people was looking at rappers like peons. You know what I'm saying? They would like the faith and the belief that they had in rappers once upon a time, back when you had the Master P's, the Cash Moneys, the Soldier Slims, you know, when you had the Pops and stuff like that. You know, people looked up to these artists, political, streetwise, like just in all aspects, they looked up to these artists. Now, you know, they look at the artists like, yeah, man, he just trying to get some street cred, or he just trying to get validated by us. You know, that nigga just a rapper. Like, I ain't taking that nigga serious. So, with that disdain for them and that lack of respect, caused a lot of rappers to start getting robbed. A lot of rappers started getting killed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rappers started getting extorted. So on and such. But the crazy thing about this whole Ceddy Nash and Sauce Walka thing is one of his guys was like, you know, who is this nigga right here, Ceddy Nash, and this and that, talking about, you know, Sauce Walka got backdoored and this and that. I mean, Sauce Walka backdoored TSF, man. These people put anything up for clicks, woo, woo. Okay, I told y'all over here at this channel, we don't run with narratives, you feel me? We create them, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to put no smut on nobody's name, and I'm not trying to put out no, how you say it, no ill intent narrative. You feel me? I don't got no ill intent. I'm just, you know, throwing it out there. That's what I'm thinking. This is what it's looking like. It would be, because a lot of the things that Sauce said, you know what I'm saying, we kind of foreseen that shit when he did the interview, and he was like, nah, it ain't gonna be no retaliation, wop. You know what I'm saying? Days later, it was retaliation. We said that when we watched the interview, we said that it was gonna be retaliation, or either that was just throw off, you know what I'm saying, for it to be retaliation. Or it might not be no retaliation, and his partner ain't gonna be looking at him crazy. I doubt Sauce gonna go out like that though. That's exactly what I said in the video. So I kind of someone knew it would be some type of form of retaliation. However they got to him that fast, I don't know if they was pressing, family members pressing homeboys, pushing up on homeboys, and because we hearing about the major figures that's passed away, the suspected, people that deleted Say So P. So they like highlighted in a sense. We ain't hearing about the little people down there, little Pookie from down the street, little Ray, from 12. We ain't hearing about that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people probably could have been already passing away behind this shit. And a lot of people probably could have been getting pressed behind this shit. So I knew it was gonna be some form of retaliation, just didn't know how fast it was gonna be. That shit was swift, like nature, like thunder, like lightning. It was swift. You didn't even see it coming. And it's crazy because we kind of put that out there. Like Ceddy Nash is, he's a bigger channel, obviously. He got like 200K or something like that, subscribers. We at 5, we on the road to 6 right now. We're really on the road to 10, but we gonna stay humble and we gonna say we on the road to 6. Now, Ceddy Nash put out that narrative a little bit after what we said. You feel me? Like I said, and I always say, we don't write narratives, we make them. You feel me? Because I got a different perspective. I already knew when I made this channel, I wasn't gonna be watching other people's content and then regurgitating what they said. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna dissect whatever content I'm watching. I was gonna dissect it, take the original content that I'm already watching, and give my own, formulate my own narrative on that, and then go see what everybody else is saying. And this ain't right. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And formulate my own narratives on their content. So when I seen Ceddy Nash put out that narrative, I knew that he had been watching the page. I'm gonna be honest. I knew he had been watching the page. A lot of these people you think that don't be in the YouTube streaks and be down and at these lower level channels. Some of these big channels have been doing it for so long, and they used to they get relaxed. They ain't got that hunger anymore. You feel me? They get relaxed, so they start going down to the bottom and seeing what other narratives are, what other people are pushing out, what the smaller channels are pushing out that's getting a pretty good amount of views for their channel. Or sometimes your video may be lucky enough to pop up on one of these big channels timeline. They'll click it, they'll see a narrative. Oh damn, that's clever. Okay, that do make sense. You feel me? And they'll take the narrative, being that they're on a bigger platform, it'll be more views for them. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I know what I know. So we growing over here, you feel me? So I ain't mad at it. It is what it is. You feel me? That's what content is for. You know what I'm saying? It's for fair use and educational purposes. At least call it out though. You feel me? If you gonna use the content, take out narratives. You feel me? But nevertheless, Ceddy Nash been catching a little flack, or really a lot of flack about this shit. I mean, nobody ain't get hurt behind this shit or nothing like that yet, but Ceddy Nash has been catching a lot of flack behind that. And maybe it's because he do got a platform, and he's platformed at a certain point to where people hold him at a different stature or a different status or a different responsibility, so to speak. Bro, you putting out these narratives and shit, you got a big ass channel. You know what I'm saying? You need to watch what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can get locked up behind this. You know what I'm saying? Sauce can get locked up behind this if you pushing the narrative that he backdoored Say So P, and it can be investigated and proven, right? So I kind of did what they're saying on that. I ain't trying to get nobody incarcerated and leaving their family and nothing like that. We just putting out the news and the narratives. We ain't diving too deep. How academics and them boys be going. Them boys just done got straight up fed and they done got loose with it, you feel me? But them boys done got straight up fed and wide open with this joint. You feel me? Oh no, that's content. Bro, even Whack 100, niggas done left the streets and done put on badges and, police gear. But you see, I showed y'all the video of 600. You know what I'm saying? So all these niggas with the names 100 in them, man, they looking a little spooky. You know what I'm saying? You niggas ain't looking 100. You niggas ain't looking 600. Damn sure ain't keeping it 1K. You know what I'm saying? You boys really doing police work for real. But nevertheless, I just want to let y'all know it's a difference between doing police work and making content. You feel me? All that we got the content and then you niggas be the first ones to pull up niggas paperwork and, oh yeah, he snitched, he did it, oh yeah, he told on this, oh, so why you said that? Well, damn, brother, you were just doing the same thing like 2 days ago. As a matter of fact, 4 hours ago, you just uploaded something telling on somebody. So, you know, with the content, niggas be using that as a loophole to really tell. Y'all just be mindful of that. But, yeah, so on to the next. We had the brother Quanell X. I believe he's a Houston native. Definitely a Texas native, but I believe he's from Houston, or either the Dallas area. But he said some fire words, you know what I'm saying? And what he spoke on was just pretty much like, man, you know, South's being careful about who he talked to about that shooting. You know what I'm saying? Who he talked to regarding that shooting, and you know what I'm saying, the details of the shooting and things of that sort. Just pretty much who he talked to about the shooting. And watch who he around, because it may be somebody that's his friend today and probably got flipped last night, and then they start telling if he did have any involvement in that, and he let that out to one of his boys or one of his quote unquote brothers. You know, just be mindful, because you won't know who the informant is. You know what I'm saying? And that's normally how it is. Like, you just never know. You never know who the informant is. It's just always somebody that's really either close up on you, they like in the background somewhat, but they still able to get close up on you when needed. You know what I'm saying? And they could just be sucking in information, you feel me? And there's been a lot of that going on, you know? It's been a lot of that going on. You seen the whole 9 Trey thing get taken down. You seen a lot of people get taken down. The YSL thing got taken down, and they had informants right up under their noses, like niggas that's sitting with you, eating with you. You might not speak to this nigga as much as you speak to your main mans, but your main mans probably go back and go tell this nigga shit because he feel like he cool. You might have the intuition to not say nothing or to kind of like duck and dodge it, but then you might tell your main mans who's not an informant, but then he go tell his right hand man who is an informant, and niggas start to, like, the dominoes start to fall, niggas get jammed up. So Quanell West was just pretty much like giving the brothers some advice. If y'all get a chance, make sure y'all go watch Fox Soul, what it is? Yeah, Fox Soul Face Off. That's what it is. Fox Soul Face Off. And they be having some interesting debates on it. I was like, damn, I got locked into it. I was like binge watching it all last night. But one of the things that he said that really stood out to me was that, you know, this dude might be your friend today, and they probably flipped him last night. You know what I'm saying? And he might be an informant, so be careful about what you say about that shooting. And my thing is if he says that, you know, because he knows what happened in SOP. He also knows that the other body, I believe both of the bodies got found in Houston. One of the dude was execution style, taken out, and he knows. So for him to say that, and Quanell, you could say he still got like a little bit of street in him. You know what I'm saying? So for him to say that, he must also feel like, man, I ain't gonna say you had no involvement on this platform, but if you did have some involvement, bro, don't even speak on that, cause them 3-letter boys is watching out. You know what I'm saying? Them 3-letter boys is watching out right now. So if I was you, I wouldn't even say nothing about it. You know they don't want to see black rappers to be exact, making this money, making the way out. So yeah, don't even say nothing about that. And right now it look like they doing like a little sweep, like a little purge to clean up the industry or whatever the case may be. But another thing that he said that really made a lot of sense as well, which I feel like is very much so justified and really should be looked into. All of this stuff that's going on with these artists, whether it may be drug busts, RICOs from gang activity and gang deletions, deletion for hire by a gang member, and all of this stuff, right? Deletion period. Somebody got deleted, or you deleted somebody, you know? Even when it comes down to even you know, the women selling cat, and then they doing all of these stings on people that's buying cat or people that's, that's peas out here. You know what I'm saying? And then you get hit with human trafficking and things of that sort, right? A lot of that stuff is propagated by the music. Because before you actually commit the action, you think about it. Before you think about it, most of the time, you got to hear about it. Or you hear something that's kind of correlating towards that. So 9 times out of 10, people listen to their radio, or you listen to your Apple Music, or you might go on YouTube and you hear like something just pop up on your, pop up on your timeline on YouTube, and you push it and you like the song. Or you even go on Instagram and it's like, a trendy song on TikTok or Instagram. A lot of the times, this stuff is formulating an idea in your mind to like, oh man, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can get somebody to sell a little cat. That's human trafficking. Oh, maybe I can sell a little cat. That's prostitution. You feel me? Maybe I can hit a nigga up or join the gang. That's RICO. That's deletion for hire. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And the music is what's promoting this. Now, this is the $1 million question, or rather the $1 billion question. Notice how right now and for the past decade, really I would say for the past almost 20 years, it's been like 15 years, but ever since drill music came out, there's been no more really trap music out there. Ain't really like nobody that's rapping like how Jeezy used to rap or how Gotti used to rap about dope and stuff like that. It really ain't nobody really like rapping like that. Niggas is more so talking about spinning the block. And that's why you have everybody that want to be the shooter. The shooter be broke as hell, borrowing somebody else's gun, ain't got $1 to his name. But everybody be wanting to be him because they understand it and they realize, oh, he's feared. You know what I'm saying? So with fear gonna come respect automatically. So he's feared, so I want to be that dude because I don't want nobody to try me. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even be caring about the finances or the money. And that's because for the past 15 years, everybody been talking about spinning the block. But also when you think about it, these artists have been being promoted by major big time labels. Universal, Atlantic Records, 300. They lost an artist every year. Their whole roster is dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that to me, I find it crazy that these artists are pretty much going down and being charged with all of this stuff. Like let's say you got charged with the RICO, or you got charged with, deletion for hire or something like that, like the little dirt case and stuff like that. They actually promoting this stuff, you know what I'm saying? They enticing the beefs. You know what I'm saying? They making these artists create beefs against one another, putting them at the same clubs when they know they got tension. You know what I'm saying? They know that this person is, well known for either fighting or spanking shit, you know what I'm saying? Belt the ass and shit. And they putting these people in the same environment, and then one of the artists pop up gone, or pop up shot up, and then the label just kind of kick back and fall back, recuperate the money from his death. They probably got an insurance policy on him. Recuperate the money from his passing away, as unaliving, and then the other rapper get locked up. So he can't even move how he want to move behind the wall. He don't know the pieces that's being pushed, and the label is like taking all of his incentives or residuals or whatever the case may be. Like that's what you see R. Kelly made. He remixed the Chris Brown song Residual. Who's getting all my residuals? You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, because it's crazy that these people can incite beefs and incite, you know what I'm saying, people getting deleted, and then nothing happened. The record label ain't getting sued. They're not getting shut down. Nothing can happen. I find that weird. I find that crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's really like they said back in the days, like Bone Thugs was saying, like the record labels were having a meeting and they were plotting to start some type of incentive to push the narrative of gangster music, pushing gangster music so that you know, the artists can build up the prisons and make revenue off the prisons and make the prison system bigger. And I believe that was really, because Bone Thugs and Harmony, when they spoke about this, they was at their heights. Like, that's when they had the, you know, the hit single, it's the first of the month. They had that, so they was at the heights. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was that group to be reckoned with. You feel me? And I really do believe that, you know, people like Michael Jordan was at these meetings and at these housewarmings or house parties. You know what I'm saying? And they had these business decisions, like where they gonna take the rap game or the music game or the sports game or the fashion game in the next 10 to 15 years. Like, they had all the people of urban culture and stuff like that, whether it's fashion, sports, whatever. They had them all in one house and telling them, like, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, this is what we're gonna direct, you know, hip-hop, music, sports, entertainment, fashion. This is what we're directing in the next, you know, 15 to 20 years. And I feel like, you know, Michael Jordan was definitely in one of those rooms because he owns prisons. He bought into one of the prisons, and then from what I heard, the person that, you know, that unalived his father, he is actually in one of Michael Jordan's prisons, which is crazy. That's crazy. The person that unalived your father is in one of your prisons. Literally, that's crazy. But I don't want to get too far off track. It's just, I just find it real weird, and, you know what I'm saying, kind of like spooky. It's eerie that these people promote beefs. Like, even the whole Quanell Rondo thing, that was being promoted. You know what I'm saying? Quanell Rondo and Von, that was being promoted to sell records. And then once Von passed away, niggas fell back, you know what I'm saying, and left it upon Dirt to get, quote unquote, get back. He should have just had justice, but then they let Quanell Rondo, he ain't do nothing, so they let him go. But Lil Tim shot this man in cold blood. They said it was because he was self-defense, so that just egged the fire even more. They had to let him go. So we don't know who paid for Lil Tim lawyer and none of that shit. We do know that Lil Tim had did a song or alleged song with 6ix9ine, but we don't know who paid for the lawyers and none of that stuff, you feel me? So it could have been a label that paid for some of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? To kind of like push that beef, push that narrative. Even when it came to Dirt, oh, you ain't gonna slide for Von, you ain't gonna slide for Von, you ain't gonna slide for Von. A lot of those people that was in the comments saying you ain't gonna slide for Von, that wasn't no street niggas, that wasn't no 12-year-old kids that's trolling him, that wasn't no females that's trolling him, that wasn't nobody from O Block or from Chicago that was trolling him and saying that. Maybe 2% of them were, but I believe maybe about 98% of the people that was saying slide for Von, I believe that was like industry bots, man. I believe that was industry bots, people that come that they don't even have no picture on their pages and nothing like that. Like, just straight up industry bots, you know what I'm saying? That's paid for to comment on your page, you know what I'm saying? It's wild, but it's real, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give y'all a little more details, man. Remember, man, they said it, we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope, and you are now watching the Telescope channel. Now check out some of these clips right here, though.
That the companies we work for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who receive funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. And a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. He told us that since our employees had become silent investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He explained that the companies, the secret meeting that changed rap music and destroyed a generation.
Damn.
So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for.
Damn.
Hold on, let me
So we gonna tell a story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, stop spraying.
Look, that black man.
So look, so he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip-hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, G.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on 1 second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, get your pistol. No,
For real though.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved. And
Sauce Walka, be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you'll never know somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow. I'm warning all of you rappers, stop the killing. Stop murdering one another. But we've been begging you to do that for almost 40-something years now. But there's people in this country who need private prison beds filled, who got to make sure the stockholders in private prisons get rich, and they don't want to hold the moguls who own the distribution labels of all of this music accountable.
So, man, as y'all can see, man, I dropped them jewels for y'all, you know what I'm saying? So we can go back to the receipts and what that shit was about, you know what I'm saying? But the brother Quanell West, not Quanell West, I apologize, Quanell X, dropped some gems on us, man, and on Sauce Walka. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure y'all hit that like button on this video. I appreciate it so much, you know what I'm saying? It gains us more traction and has more viewers and subscribers come to the channel, you know what I'm saying, to support us, people that's like-minded like us. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell so every time I upload a video like this, y'all can be updated. But man, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section about Quanell West's message to Sauce Walka, you feel me? Also, what do y'all think about the two people, you know what I'm saying, that was found unalive in Houston? You know what I'm saying? The first suspect and the second suspect, Kevin Brown, found unalive, you know what I'm saying? So what do y'all think about that? Y'all think Sauce had any involvement in that? Y'all think that, you know what I'm saying, he probably was dropped off there to make it seem on a publicity stunt, to make it seem like Sauce had something to do with it, but he really didn't? I think it was money involved, paper on people's head. What y'all think, man? Y'all let me know, man, in the comment section. I appreciate all comments, whether y'all agree or y'all disagree. I appreciate all comments. Thank y'all for coming to the channel and watch the channel. Remember, they said it, I was speaking on it. Mr. Telescope, and you're not watching the Telescope channel, man. Hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Try to make it pretty lengthy for y'all, something to watch, you know what I'm saying, something that's entertaining. You can watch on your break, or you can watch while you may be walking your dog, or you just out and about, you know what I'm saying. But I appreciate y'all, man. Telescope.